18 months ago, it seemed the world had come to a consensus on taking climate change seriously. Countries across the globe recognised that rising temperatures and pollution were not just an environmental issue, but an economic and security issue as well. But Britain's vote to leave the EU and Donald Trump's election in the US, with its tide of isolationism and populism, might well halt that progress. In coalition, the Liberal Democrats oversaw the trebling of renewable electricity generation. We established the world's first green investment bank, which saw £1.8 billion worth of support turn into over nearly £7 billion worth of investment in green infrastructure projects. We invested in green technologies and home improvements. But the Conservatives seem determined to take us back to the 1980s, when we were the dirty man of Europe. They've cut support for renewable energy and home insulation, sold off the Green Investment Bank, and kicked control of air pollution into the long grass of a consultation. They've not just put our environment at risk, but our health and our economy, undermining the increasingly successful green industries, which already employ more than 500,000 workers. In government, we were able to move the UK's green agenda forward significantly in spite of the Conservatives. But now we want to go further. We want 5 green laws. A Green Transport Act to get rid of diesel emissions and to encourage electric and low emission vehicles. A Nature Act to set legally binding natural capital targets, including on biodiversity, clean air and water. A Zero Carbon Act with the ultimate aim of reducing greenhouse gas emissions to zero by 2050. A Zero Waste Act to establish binding targets to reduce net consumption of natural resources and to give business incentives to improve repairability, reuse and recycling. And finally, a Green Buildings Act to set energy efficient targets, including an ambition for every home to reach at least a Band C energy rating by 2035, and to restore the zero carbon standard for new homes that we introduced in government but which the Conservatives have abandoned. We also have plans to plant many more trees, to manage our waterways and marine environment properly, to encourage community energy saving schemes and local electricity generation. So here in Herefordshire we do have a success story. Worcestershire and Herefordshire have combined resources, and here we now recycle more than half our waste at the Norton plant, and from incinerating the rest at a plant in Hartlebury, we are generating enough to power a town the size of Hereford. And they're working on turning the residue into road surfacing. So, good news. But this would not have happened without the European imperative on reducing landfill. It is inconceivable that any British government would have come up with this, let alone enforced it on its own. This is another demonstration of the benefits of European Union membership, and these things are possible. We can afford to do them. It is a question of the choices we make.